Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, the Smoky Haze persists across Kern County and beyond, forcing residents indoors as heat and fires combine for dangerous conditions for millions.
And a look at the cause, dozens of wildfires burning up and down the state. The largest up north, the LNU complex fire, continues to rage overnight and has burned more homes. How Kern County firefighters are helping, coming up.
Good morning. It is 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen along with Taylor Schaub in this morning for Alex Fisher. Good to have you with us. And as I walked in this morning, I told Taylor, I don't smoke, but I imagine this is what it feels like because it is so smoky outside.
Yeah, leaving the house at 3 this morning, I was having trouble breathing. As we send things over to Kevin with a look at our forecast. Kevin, tell us it's going to be a little better today.
We have no clouds, and guess what? We might see cooler temperatures today as well. Let's take you out to satellite and radar, and you can see here clear skies around the area, except for that smoky haze. And unfortunately, satellite doesn't pick that up. So it's definitely going to be around all day long for Kern County. We've got a calm wind out there currently. And as we take a look at the dog walk forecast, no walking. And I'm putting that on there for two reasons. Yeah, it's going to be warm. Usually I'll say, cautionary walking when we're in the mid 80s. But because of the air quality alert, I don't think it's healthy for us, and I don't think it's healthy for our pets. So no walking throughout the day, and temperatures are going to be right near 102. 66 in Tehachapi right now with a west wind at 6 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the hour by hour, starting out in those 60s and then lower 90s throughout the day.
Well, thanks, Kevin. As more than 200 fires engulfed the Golden State in a smoky haze, an air quality alert has been put into place. The warning was issued throughout the San Joaquin Valley and will run through next Tuesday, August 25th. Air officials say wildfires as far as the Bay Area are causing this thick layer of smoke, and it's likely that will be like this until the fires start to die down.
And as we mentioned, those fires are burning up and down the state, and scorching temperatures are not making fire crews' battle any easier. John Lawrence reports.
Hundreds of wildfires are scorching sections of California. Officials say at least 23 of those blazes are major.
It's impacted numerous homes, impacted several 100,000 of the populace here in California.
Among the areas affected, the English Hills community in northwest Vacaville, where flames and smoke overwhelmed structures.
It was pretty chaotic. There was lots of multiple explosions.
Residents in some areas, including those who live in parts of Sonoma Lake and Napa counties, are urged to clear out.
We have in place numerous evacuation orders and warnings in place, working with the sheriff's office to conduct those.
In San Mateo and Santa Cruz counties, the La Honda fire, ignited by a record heat wave and lightning strikes, has already burned 25,000 acres. Fire officials say a lack of staff makes it difficult to get these infernos under control.
Even if we were at full strength with all the fires that we're currently seeing, we are woefully short of resources, period.
That has some residents taking matters into their own hands.
People weren't here. We didn't have any suppression here. I had gotten on my tractor and redid the fire break. We still had no fire department apparatus on scene anywhere.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And as it was just mentioned, the LNU complex wildfire continues to burn in Northern California and has now spread into Sonoma and Solano counties. Let's take a look at how big it's gotten. It was started by lightning, and it scorched more than 124,000 acres so far and has destroyed at least 105 buildings. It is 0% contained this morning. And the Lake Fire, which is only about 75 miles to our south, is 36% contained and has grown to more than 26,000 acres. The wildfire has destroyed 21 structures and damaged 3 others. One person was hurt because of the fire, but it's unclear if this was a firefighter or civilian and the extent of those injuries. Officials say the fire is burning in areas that are very inaccessible, making it harder to contain. And the river fire continues to burn near Salinas. The fire remains 7% contained. It's grown to more than 15,000 acres. It broke out early Sunday morning and has destroyed 6 structures and damaged 2 others. CAL FIRE is also reporting 6 people have been hurt during this fire. It's unknown the extent of those injuries and if those people were firefighters or civilians. And Kern County Fire tweeted that 44 local firefighters are spread across the state helping deal with several different fires right now, just as dozens of other departments assisted us when the Stagecoach fire broke out.
Well, some good news this morning. A statewide flex alert will not be in effect. This comes after a week in which California's power grid has been on the verge of going over its limit with record temperatures and energy use. Crews say so far energy conservation efforts have worked and they haven't had to shut off power yet. Once again, though, you are asked to limit your energy use whenever you can, including turning up the thermostat to at least 78 degrees or hotter, using fans to keep cool. Plus, you should use appliances like dishwashers and washing machines early in the morning or late at night, and avoid cooking in the oven. If you need a place to keep cool, several local cooling centers will once again be open today. Because of COVID-19, you're asked to bring your own water, snacks, and activities and wear a face mask. Cooling centers open when temperatures are forecasted to be 105 or hotter in valley areas, 108 or hotter in the desert, and 95 or hotter in the mountain areas. They're open from 1 to 8 p.m. You can find the nearest cooling center on our website, kget.com.
5:07 now. A man's dead after a crash in South Bakersfield yesterday morning. Police officers responded to the intersection of Hosking Avenue and Monitor Street for reports of a crash. A man was taken to the hospital and later died. His identity has not been released. The driver of the other vehicle stayed at the scene. BPD says they don't believe drugs or alcohol were involved. This marks the 25th deadly crash in the city so far this year.
Turning now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic here in Kern County. Kern Public Health announced 216 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday, bringing the total positive tests to more than 27,000. More than half, over 16,000 cases, are considered active right now, with most of the people recovering at home. 248 people are being treated in the hospital. There were 12 new deaths announced as well, bringing that total to 228 people that have died from the virus in Kern since the pandemic has begun. The need for plasma donations continues to increase in our county. Houchin Community Blood Bank says more than 280 people have donated. According to Kern Public Health, though, more than 8,000 people have recovered from the novel virus. The blood bank is still offering survivors a $50 gift card to simply donate. That deal was going to end this past weekend, but it's been so popular, Houchin says it's extending the offer once again. For more information, you can call or donate at 616-2575 or visit their website at hcbb.com.
The show must go on. The coronavirus pandemic halted plans for the Kern County Fair, so now it's going virtual. The virtual fair will run September 23rd through October 4th. The Fair Board says they hope to bring a little taste of everything the fair usually offers. The virtual fair will include that livestock auction, a fair food drive-through, excited for that one, fair entertainment like magicians and a petting zoo, and a shopping experience. The Fair Board hopes this brings a little fun for everyone until next year when they can celebrate in person.
In Oregon, hundreds of people stood in line Wednesday waiting to receive a COVID relief check. Oregon lawmakers are collaborating with 8 credit unions and 2 banks to launch a $500 emergency relief program for citizens facing financial hardship due to the pandemic. Recipients must be Oregon residents who make $4,000 or less a month and have not received the unemployment benefits they are owed. The state estimates some 70,000 people are eligible for the money.
Everybody's kind of anxious about the pandemic and not working, and so I feel like when people hear free anything, it's like get there right now as fast as you can, and I feel like that's what happened today.
On Wednesday, credit unions and banks cut around 13,000 checks. That's $6,500,000 in aid. Many people have been looking for a new activity to pass the time during the pandemic. As Mike Berman reports, that's led to the comeback of a rather old hobby.
For so many industries, the pandemic has been devastating. But as Ronnie Holloway can attest, it's had the opposite effect on sports cards.
It has been dramatically busy. And it's hard to keep, product on shelves.
Holloway owns Elite Sports Cards and Comics. After watching the industry decline for years, he's stunned by its recent revival.
We haven't had this since the 1990s, since the Bulls were making that run.
Sales are up at local stores, but people are breaking the bank at auctions too. This LeBron James sold for a new modern-day card record $1.8 million last month. Call it a byproduct of boredom.
They wanted to find something to do, and this was a perfect opportunity for them to say, I'm pulling out my cards, I'm back into it.
You can literally spend about 4 hours there, which I've done probably. And it just gives you something to do, and it's really fun.
Nathan Massell has around 15,000 cards, and you can watch his collection grow on the YouTube channel he started during the pandemic. It's the fifth grader's passion, partly because every pack has huge potential.
It could be life-changing. Really could be.
And even if Nathan never hits the jackpot, he's got future job security.
You'll be able to come in and work for me because that is my future employee.
Today's the last day of the Democratic National Convention, and it is Joe Biden's night. Just like the same stage where his running mate reintroduced herself to America just a few hours ago. Tracy Potts has more.
Joe Biden tonight taking the stage where just a few hours ago, his running mate, Senator Kamala Harris,
I accept your nomination,
stepped into history as the first black woman and the first Indian American on a major party ticket. The daughter of immigrants made the case against injustice.
There is no vaccine for racism. We've got to do the work.
And Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's failure of leadership has cost lives and livelihoods.
Continuing a forceful rebuke from President Obama.
Donald Trump hasn't grown into the job because he can't. And the consequences of that failure are severe. Do not let them take away your power.
Hillary Clinton urging Americans to vote in overwhelming numbers.
Don't forget, Joe and Kamala can win by 3 million votes and still lose. Take it from me.
Day 3 focused on issues, gun violence, climate change, immigration, and women's rights. The Violence Against Women Act that Biden wrote.
He has never forgotten who he is fighting for.
President Trump lashing out.
If they did a good job, I wouldn't be here.
Tonight, Biden's final word before Republicans take the spotlight next week. We know the president was listening because he was tweeting in all caps during those speeches, again about the timing of the Obama endorsement of Biden and about the moment during the Miami debate where Senator Harris went after Biden on desegregation. The president asking, didn't she call him a racist? She did not. From Wilmington, I'm Tracy Potts, NBC News.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com. The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.